Howdy, everybody. It's old Cody over here. Welcome to another edition of the Cowboys of the Osage Podcast. As always, I got my co-host with me, Mr. Rodeo historian himself, Jimbo Snively. Hey, Jimbo, what's going on, and who do we got today?
Hey, Cody boy, it's another great day in Osage, man. Here in a few days, October 15th and 16th, Pawhuska's host to the Women's Ranch Rodeo Association World Finals Rodeo. That's a really big deal. And we got the last participating co-founder of the Women's Ranch Rodeo Association, Miss Billie Franks. She's a 7 times world's champion in that association, a 3 times average winner. And we're going to talk about how it all got started, about the finals coming up here, and no telling what else. We do have a tendency to get sidetracked once in a while. But Billie, welcome to the Cowboys of Osage Podcast.
Great to be here, guys.
Thanks.
Welcome, Billie, welcome. So let's get this baby rolling. So tell us how this Women's Ranch Rodeo Association got started, Billie.
I think alcohol was involved.
Well, a lot of rodeo associations and things like that, alcohol was involved in the inception of different things. So I can totally agree with that.
I think it was timing. It was good timing with the right people coming together at the right time, because they had Women's Ranch Rodeos for about 9 years before we started the association. And my first Women's Ranch Rodeo was in 2004, towards the end of the season. And I really didn't want to go. I kind of made fun of them because I just thought it was glorified sorting, and they had tried to get me to go the year before, and it was a lot of sorting events, and the only roping event was the calf and branding. And I said I'd rather go team roping. But in 2004, they talked me into going, and I wasn't their top choice because I didn't think I was competitive enough.
Yes, ma'am.
But they didn't know that I was.
They didn't really know you, did they?
No. But anyway, so we went to the first one, and it was kind of I don't know, things wasn't going to work out because they had a men's before the day before ours, and it was nice and sunny up in Kansas City at the Saddle and Sirloin Club, and then it came just a downpour, and it was just mud, and the guys up in Kansas City didn't want to have it outside. I said, well, we have an inside arena, but it was just a little riding deal, and I said, we can make it work. Now, I'm the person, this is my very first one, but I'm telling the producer, we can go ahead and have it. So I worked with him, and we got it going, and I knew maybe 2 of the other girls on other teams. And when we went into our first event, every girl that didn't even know us was wishing us good luck as we go in. And we go in and we did fair, and we come out and everybody says, good job. And I'm like, this is the craziest thing I've ever been to. Because everybody's wishing you good luck going in, everybody's telling you good job when you're coming out. That's kind of wild. Well, we didn't do very good, but we had a lot of fun. They said, hey, there's one next weekend. You want to go? And I said, why the hell not? So we went, and I think we ended up winning. I can't remember. And just so happened that the Western Horseman lady that does articles was driving by and saw the arena lights and just stopped by because she saw arena lights, and ended up doing a story on Women's Ranch Rodeo before the association. And one of the ladies that she talked to said there would never be an organization because women can't get along. Well, that didn't post until the next year after we started the association. So we kind of proved her wrong after 17 years, right? But the very last rodeo we had was at the ranch name that we rode under was at this gentleman's ranch in Beaumont, Kansas. And some of the girls got to talking and said, Bill, we really should start an association. And I said, yeah, we should, because, there's a lot of girls out there, and I think there's more. There was one team from New Mexico, No Man's Land Beef Jerky was their name. And they was from New Mexico, and the rest of us from Kansas and Oklahoma. So we go to the Beaumont Hotel and have some drinks and eat steak. And in a couple of weeks, we had a meeting. Whoever was interested in starting the association showed up, and the rest is history. So anyway, our first finals was held that year in 2005 during the American Royal.
Okay.
Since the gentleman that had that rodeo at the Saddle and Sirloin was a board member of the rodeo part of the American Royal, so he got us in there. And so we was at the big Coliseum at our very first finals. It was way cool.
Oh, wow. American Royal, that's a big old place. They've had some big rodeos there, Jimbo.
Right. Well, most of the ladies that started this are the original. Were they working ranch ladies, or did they just a weekend like do the rodeo deal or the ranch deal, or just a combination of?
A little bit of everything. I mean, some of the girls, they only team roped, but enjoyed,
right.
But they were tough enough to mug something down.
Right.
And you don't have to be on a ranch, unlike the men's deal, to participate. And we've kept our events ranch related, So some of the girls that might have grown up in a ranching community but now have a town job, they can come. The girls that's married into a ranch that didn't start roping until later on, they can. If you're tough enough and got the skill, you can enter.
Cool. That's what it should be.
Yep.
Well, you mentioned Oklahoma, Texas, and the beef jerky place out of New Mexico.
Yep.
3 states. Now how many girls are competing in these women's ranch rodeos, and how many states are they having the rodeos in?
Well, over the years, it's women, right? They get pregnant. That's the main reason why our teams fluctuate, and some years we'll have a lot of teams from a certain state. I don't know how that works. One state has more pregnant women than the other. I don't know, but anyway.
It's that alcohol.
I assume alcohol. Kansas has a big showing now. Does Kansas have a lot of teams now?
Believe it or not, no. I think there's just 2 members from Kansas this year.
Oh, okay. What about Colorado? They got any teams involved in this?
Yes, Colorado's got quite a few girls, pretty salty girls.
Where's the head office located at?
I would say Kansas.
It's in Kansas now? For the Women's Ranch Rodeo Association?
I guess, yeah. 2 of the officers live in Kansas, so I guess let's call it Kansas.
Yes, ma'am.
Have your events, have they changed a lot over the years, or pretty much the same?
We've kind of tweaked them a little bit. Starting out, this is kind of interesting. Starting out, we had sorting and ranch sorting. We had pinning and ranch pinning. Everything had regular and ranch. So regular sorting just sorted 3. Ranch sorting, you sorted as many as you could. Ranch pinning, you had to go to the other end of the arena, open a gate, a horseback, get cattle out of a pen, bring them back, and show that your horse could come in and out gates, So we've kind of tweaked them down so people don't get bored watching, even though it showed your skill. We've brought back the ribbon roping this year, which I like to think of it as a modified wild cow milking, so you don't hurt someone's mom, because you can't heel it. You can only head. Someone has to mug it, and then you get the ribbon off the tail, and you have to run it back to the circle. So that's like wild cow milking without milking. Mugging the tie-down mugging wasn't an original event, and we was going to have a rodeo in Latham, Kansas, and add it as a bonus. If you want to pay $50 more and get in the mugging, and everybody said, well, hell, let's just add it. So we
Okay.
added it, and the rest is history. That's everybody's favorite event.
Really?
Is
So
the mugging.
everybody that's not familiar with it, because there's a lot of people, and there's a lot of people that listen to this podcast that don't know what mugging is. Explain the event to us. What is mugging? Is it this? I'm just going to throw what I automatically think about it. Do you head and heel one and tie their legs?
You can,
Okay.
or
You can mug him down. Just
Yeah.
head him and bulldog and
Yeah.
And then do you tie their legs and
Yeah.
do you got to have the rope off at the end? Can you
Yeah.
explain the whole event to us real quick?
okay, me doing something quick is an option.
Oh, no, not real quick. Take your time. Take your time, because me and Jimbo, we're not the smartest guys in the world.
Right.
We need you to take your time to let us know
Okay.
the ins and outs of this mugging event, because I'm interested in it, Jimbo.
Right.
I like a good
It sounds
mugging.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd like to be mugged by cowgirls.
There you go.
Anyway,
They're wild
like
ones.
in the WRCA, they call it stray gathering, or any men's rodeo that you go to, they call it stray gathering, but they don't mug them down, bulldogging. So what happens is you definitely have to head the steer, around the horns, half head, around the neck, legal head catch, and then you have the option to heel and get him down, or jump off and bulldog him down, and then you have to do a 3-bone cross, tie 3 legs together, and have all the ropes off the heels, off the head, and call for time. Now, many moons ago,
It's going to be faster to mug than it is to head and heel.
No.
All day long.
no,
No?
depends on the team.
Depends on the team.
Now, many moons ago, when we first started, you'd take 1 or 2 heel loops, the people that would rather heel, and then you just bailed off. Now that we've gotten older, we'll take a few more heel shots instead of getting, ran over by the steer. But there are a few teams that they have their mugging down to an art, and there's a couple of teams that can beat you, but there's some teams that rope really, really good now, that it's, they can get it done quicker. So it's just a team preference, or if they're 800-pound steers, I'm roping. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I'm roping if they're 800 pounds, Jimbo.
Right.
If they're just 3 little 300-pounders, and, kind of look at your cattle and see what you're after,
I'd have some old kid talked into mugging,
Right.
Some old big, not real bright kid from the neighborhood.
Believe it or not, some of the best muggers we have are probably the littler girls. It's all in their technique. I've seen some bigger girls that they could no more get down a steer than I've seen some 100-pound girls.
Well, yeah, they don't shadow box them. They get on in there and they
Right.
do what's called the spider monkey. They
Right.
jump on them and they don't let go, Jimbo, and they wear them down.
Lori Campbell told me once, the closer you are to them, Bill, they can't hurt you, or they can hurt you less if you're closer to them. Something to that effect.
That's the old wise tale. It seems
Yeah.
to be true, though.
Might as well get in there.
It's just getting close to them sometimes.
Right.
Talking yourself into getting in there. My cousin, I used to talk him, and he was one of those guys we're talking about. Great guy, though. I used to have him have this great big loop outside here, Jimbo, with a piggin string. And he would put his arm over the cow's neck and run it through that piggin string and tie himself on and grab back this direction and just sit down. And no matter what happened, as long as he had his feet out in front of him, he didn't get hurt. But he did do a good job mugging. He was a good job mugging, and he was tied on, too. So there wasn't any letting go until we got the job done.
Wow.
I think I got 2 wild mugging stories. One of them was, when we first started, and it was one of those ones we missed the first. I was the first one to head, and I'd missed, and I felt back then, if I missed my head loop, I had to beat whoever to the head because I didn't do my job. And it was in Caney, Kansas. And so whoever had it headed, the second loop caught. And so the rest of us, the 3 of us, jumped in there. And I mean, that steer ate our lunch. and came out blood and earrings pulled out and all kinds of things. And one of the spectators said, "You ever see the cartoon where all you see is like an arm fly out from the dust and a leg fly out from the dust?"
Yeah.
You know, when they show fights, just a ball of dust and an arm, a leg, and whatever. He says, "That's what you girls look like out there."
Oh, yeah. Seen a lot of those cartoons.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
been a part of a lot of those cartoons.
All right. What was the other one?
Then the other one, teammate now, Nisa, she likes to get a little froggy every once in a while. She thinks that we just need to get him. And we was in, gosh dang, down by Tulsa. I can't remember the town. Anyway, it was indoor and there was no air. And there was old tripping steers and bulldogging steers that was stiff-necked.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah. The best kind.
Yeah, the best kind to jump off and think you're going to mug down.
Yeah.
God, he ate our lunch. I never, he just wouldn't give up, and we wouldn't give up, and we thought we was going to die. I've never been so exhausted in my life, and no air.
Oh, yeah. They get really, really stiff-necked after a while.
So after that, and that was quite a few years ago, when they're big, we make sure and tell Nisa, "Don't go being froggy today." Don't be feeling froggy today.
You just got to tell her she's big enough to start that fight. She's got to finish it, all right?
There's no quit in her. There's no quit in her.
Well, that's how you can tell the true competitors, Jimbo. That's how you can tell the true competitors for sure. The ones that's not scared to get in there and mix it up.
So how many events do you have?
Well, this year, I think we have 9 that they can choose from. We kind of switched it up, trying to help the stock contractors because you can't always get calves to drag. And they can pick, they have a minimum of 3 events that they can have now. But you can have as many as 5 events in your rodeo. So this year at the finals, everyone's going to get to see all of our events because the first round is going to be our Classic 5. The second round is going to be the new events. And then the third round, the girls are going to vote what events they want to be in the third round. So I got a note so I don't forget.
So what are your Classic 5 events?
Classic 5 is trailer loading,
Okay.
sorting, mugging, doctoring, and calf branding.
All right.
Okay.
Those are 3 great events, or 5 great events right there. 3.
Absolutely. Yeah, 3. You just want to do 3. They got to do 5.
3 or 5.
I like 5. The more, the better. I think it should be 10. 10 each go round.
Bull riding and everything.
No,
Why not?
you don't want to hurt
Steer riding.
steer riding.
I don't know.
And then the second round, we've added steer branding, the ripping and roping that we talked about earlier, pinning, double team roping, and then we're going to mug again. So mugging is in each round,
What's a double team roping?
just what it's saying.
So you do 2 team roping runs?
All 4 girls go out
Oh, okay.
and head and heel and head and heel. You can't switch out. I'm your designated header, you're my designated healer. And then the other 2 girls head and heel too. And time stops when the second steer gets.
Now, are they in the same team?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then the third go round, they're going to vote
Yep.
between the 10 events that they've already done on the 5 events they want to do for the finals.
They get to pick 4 on the third round.
Gotcha.
We're going to mug because everybody's favorite is the mugging. That's everybody's favorite event.
Well, yeah, and wild cow milking, that was everybody's favorite at the ranch rodeo. The men's.
Oh, yeah, that's what you finish up with.
Yeah, I'm going to just save that for last.
Yeah. So it won't be all roping. They've got to pick, I think, 2 sorting events. So they can pick sorting, pinning, or trailer loading. The trailer loading, you sort and rope in. So
Do you have to stick with one horse, or can you use as many horses you want to, each individual?
you have to stick with the same horse in each rodeo, in each round.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But the next day you could switch horses
If you
or
wanted
something.
to.
Yeah, if you need to. But
Yeah.
Are they giving the top horse award away this year?
Yes, sir. So if you want top horse, you better ride the same horse in all 3 rounds.
Gotcha. Don't give him a rest between rounds like, oh, who was the girl that did that at the national finals last year, Jimbo? Haley Kinsel, but she still ended up winning the world.
Yeah.
She gave her good horse a rest.
Yeah.
Between go rounds. They don't do that over at the Women's Ranch Rodeo.
No.
Finals.
They don't rest and the girls don't rest.
Nope.
We're having a good time whether we're in or out of the arena.
Oh yeah, they do have a big time. We're gonna have a hard time keeping them all out of the county jail down there. These women do get a little wild after the rodeo.
You know, I grew up in Washington County, and I was told don't ever get thrown in Osage County Jail. It's instilled in my brain for.
Anheuser-Busch is one of the sponsors, and they're delivering 60 cases of free beer for these ladies to have and indulge in after each one of their rodeo performances. So
all right.
It's gonna be pretty wild down there.
We're gonna
at the fairgrounds.
Kick it off with Anheuser-Busch.
That's right. The schedule for their Women's Ranch Rodeo World Finals, Thursday night. We got the kickoff party. It's going to be really good. What all is going on during the kickoff party that you know of, Billy?
I know we're going to have a Calcutta, Cody.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have a great Calcutta. We're going to sell off all the teams. Them voting on those last 5 go-rounds kind of made it hard to sell the individual events, but it's going to be 3 times your money on the go-rounds and double in the average, so 5 times your money. So the average will pay double what a go-round pays is in the Calcutta.
And all the girls are supposed to turn in their stats. So
we know who to buy.
Very good.
Per the stats.
All right. Yeah, the announcer for the event's going to be there. It's going to be a big to-do. It's going to be a cash bar there, Jimbo. There's going to be food provided by the cattle women, the Osage County Cattle Women's Association. They're going to be there. And you get in the door for only $10, and it all goes right back to the Women's Ranch Rodeo Association and the Cattle Women's on that particular night.
Right. We're sharing our proceeds for the rodeo and the kickoff party with Osage Cattle Women. Yes.
It's going to be a heck of a good time. Everybody's invited. Come on down. You can buy your tickets right at the door or online. Just go to theconstantine.com, and they're only $10, so may as well just buy them at the door. It's probably going to sell out, so get there early.
Constantine Theater, that's kind of a cool place too.
It's going to be, it's a majestic place.
Historic place, really. Great place.
It's really going to be nice, a nice deal. It's going to be a good time. And then afterwards, you can go to the after hours kickoff party over at Osage Outfitters just across the street from it. Oh, not Osage Outfitters, but the Dry Hollow Bar, owned by the Osage Outfitters folks.
And then the after party.
And then the after party.
Ben Johnson Cowboy Museum.
We'll be over at the arena for sure, I bet.
For sure.
Be over there at the arena. They're going to go on the Feel Rough, Ranch Rodeo Tough the next day motto, probably. That one. It's going to be a good time, though. Everybody's welcome to come.
Yeah, the more the merrier.
And then what's the rest of the schedule that week look like?
So we got a rodeo Friday morning.
Yeah.
What time?
First go
10
round.
o'clock? You got the schedule there.
I'll let you read. It looks like 10 a.m.
Yep, 10 a.m. First round. Then 6 p.m. the second round. And then Saturday, they're letting us sleep in and recuperate. From the after party. At 1 p.m. will be the final performance. And then we'll have the awards ceremony at 7.
Very nice. Where's the awards ceremony going to be? Right out there?
At the fairgrounds, at the Ag Building.
Well, that'll be a big time. They're going to be crowning the 2021 World Champion of Women's Ranch Rodeo.
World Champion.
That's right.
Champions of the world.
We got a 7-timer with us right here. She knows what's going on.
She's the Guy Allen of Women's Ranch Rodeo, isn't she?
She's the Guy Allen. Trevor Brazil.
Oh my gosh, no.
Of Women's Ranch Rodeo. Chris Potter of Women's Ranch Rodeo right here.
Yep.
I'll just stay with Billie Franks.
So what's some of the teams that's going to be there? And tell us where they're from, Billy.
I've been talking to these girls. I have a podcast too, you know. And
yeah, we're going to get into that in a minute for sure.
And you're going to be on mine.
Uh-oh.
I've been talking to the girls, a little pre-rodeo finals deal to get to know the teams and what they think their advantage is over the other teams.
All right.
Pretty interesting.
Let's hear
Well,
it.
we'll need that information before the Calcutta.
You'll have to listen to the podcast, Jimbo.
Okay.
Can you just name off who
No
the teams
spoilers.
are and where they're
Okay.
from
Yes, I can.
for us?
I got my cheat sheet.
Because we do got a team I know from Osage County, and they're going to be a really tough team. Last year was a little eye-opening for them, but I think they're going to be ready this year.
Yeah.
Pawnee, Silbarn.
Yeah. Okay, so we have 3KS. Those girls are out of Louisiana and Oklahoma.
Woo. Them coon asses are tough, Jimbo.
I mean,
Yeah.
Mixed with an Okie,
right,
that's an ultra tough team.
right.
The two gals from Louisiana are sisters, so there's a bond there. They're ropers. They can rope.
That's what it takes.
And two Okies. Then we have the Aces and Eights team.
Aces over eights. The dead man's hand team.
Right.
They didn't know that was the dead man's hand when they picked their name.
It didn't work out too good for Wild Bill, did it?
Okay, so they're from Colorado, and they're some young girls, and they are ropey. They are very good. They'd be a good buy. They're not going to go cheap at the Calcutta. They won a lot of their rodeos that they went to this year. They're tough. They're pretty punchy.
Coming all the way from Colorado, you can bet they're going to have their hammer cocked and ready to win a little bit of money right here.
They're not coming to donate.
Nope. And is this how they're sitting in the world coming in?
No, I think I'm giving these to you alphabetically.
Just alphabetically, okay.
Then we have the Cactus Flowers. They're out of Colorado and one Okie. And they have won the world once and the average twice.
Tough team right here.
Calvary Cross have cowgirls from Texas and Oklahoma. They took a break for some years. Let's see, Calvary Cross won the finals in 2010.
They're proven winners right there.
Yep. Even though they've switched some team members up, they're still just as tough, or maybe tougher. You got the Espuela Ranch, girls out of Texas and New Mexico.
I remember these from last year. They were a tough team last year.
Yeah, they ended up winning the finals last year.
Yes.
And those girls, between all four girls, they have won the world 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and the average once.
Sounds like they're trying to put a dream team together there, Jimbo.
Well,
Sounds like it.
You got a mother-in-law and 2 daughter-in-laws, and then a really good friend on that team.
Uh-oh.
So you're talking, they're pretty tight.
We know who the boss is on that team.
Right, absolutely.
Then you have the High Plains Cowgirls. They're out of Colorado and Oklahoma. They won the world last year. They're a tough team.
Reigning world champions right here, Jimbo. Coming back. How are they sitting coming into this year?
High Plains Cowgirls are sitting 6th.
Sixth in the world.
6th in the world, yeah.
So you know they're going to be making a strong push.
They're going to make their move here at the finals.
Yep.
They're shooting for that average. I think they're wanting to win those Lockhart boots.
That's a team to watch.
Okay,
Yep.
Then we have the J-Bar team. We have Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas girls on that team. And J-Bar is sitting 4th in for the world.
They should have named that the Tri-State. the trifecta team right there. The Tri-State Trifectas.
Yeah, they have 2 veterans on that team and then 2 new girls on that team this year. Then you have the Keystone Ranch. That's a local, that's just down the road here, right? Kisa.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Is this the G7?
Yep.
G7, Greg Ganskow.
Oklahoma and Texas girls.
You know, that's going to be a good team right there. Local team right here.
For sure. That'd be
then-
one to buy in the Calcutta. They got the home field advantage.
They know the turf. They know the lay of the land here.
Right.
I'm sure they know the cattle they're going to be using because, you know, I'm sure most of them had to come from this area.
Right.
Or where are they bringing all the cattle from?
I know the roping cattle's coming from the girls from J-Bar.
Okay.
Gosh darn it.
All over.
My brain.
They're bringing the best in for the best.
Right.
Something like that. Pawnee Sale Barn, there's your local team.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be a toughie.
Yeah, you got Tamara Smith.
Tamara Smith, she's been to the women's national finals rodeo roping, and she's a crack shot heeling or heading, Jimbo. And
Strip steers.
she's a steer roper. Yep.
Right. I know.
She's the only, I think she might be the only woman that's currently competing in the steer roping. But Guy Allen trained her. Very tough cowgirl right there.
Yeah, and then Stormy Bledsoe, she's...
Buddy Bledsoe's wife.
Yep.
She's a good cowgirl.
Becca Gagan.
Yep. Barnes doll.
And Casey Joe.
Oh, yeah. Casey Joe Hodge.
I wanted to say Combs, but I couldn't remember what.
Yeah, that's her maiden name. But
me and Casey Joe go way back.
she's the wildest woman in Oklahoma. Casey Joe Hodge over there, married into the wildest family in Oklahoma, right there from Turley, Oklahoma. Now, she won the Women's Rookie of the Year heeling here a few years ago for the Women's Rodeo Association Rookie of the Year.
And I think Becca won it the year after.
There we go. So that's a pretty ropey team. They should dominate in the roping events. That's what they thought last year. Rodeo is a very humbling sport, but this is a stacked team right here. That's one to look at right there, Jimbo.
Right.
Okay. So if you're listening, Calcutta people, you know.
Maybe Alan, you think Alan will come up and buy them?
Well,
Okay.
if Alan's going to buy one, this is just my pick right here. This is my personal pick because I think after the lessons they learned last year, they're more prepared this year.
Right.
They're more prepared this
But
year.
they won't bring a lot of money because they didn't do good last year.
Well,
So there you go. That's perfect.
they
That's what you want.
shouldn't. The way they did last year, they shouldn't bring
That's
too
what I
much
mean.
if they're going
That's-
solely on last year's performance.
That's
So-
perfect.
But it's a tough team.
Right.
And it's a local Osage County team, all the girls on there.
Right. Remind me of something after we finish this. And then we have Pushard Cattle Company.
This is going to be a tough team too, Jimbo.
Absolutely.
Who's all on this team?
Well, Billie Franks.
The legendary Billie Franks,
Legendary.
7-time world champion, 3-time average winner.
World champion.
That's right.
Of the world.
There we go.
Woo. Jenna Adams Steerwalt.
Oh, my Lord. She's another ringer right here. She's as tough as they come. 4-time world champion from right here in Osage County. Shane Steerwalt. He's been a ranch rodeo world champion,
Right.
local ranching family.
Yep. I know his dad.
Tough team right there. Who else is on it?
Nisa Smith.
Oh, my Lord. This keeps getting tougher.
Yeah. Yeah, the one that always feels froggy.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about now.
So me, Jenna, and Nisa have been together for 11 years
Wow.
on a team.
Dream team. How many times has your team, that team
The
won the
three
world?
of us?
Yes.
The three of us together.
Has to be the 4.
Well, no, our fourth person, maybe the fourth person just don't want to put up with us. I don't know. Anyway, the three of us, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times for the world and 2 times in the average. And those 2 times we also won the world. That we won the average.
Wow. That's tough. That's tough. So they've really dominated over the years. If you think how many years they've been having it compared to how many years Billy's been walking across that stage as world champion.
So
That's really high odds that. How are y'all sitting this year for the world?
second.
Second. What's splitting y'all? Do y'all go on points or money?
117 is first and 107 second.
10.
10 points.
10 points. So what's each go round worth in points or each event?
I can't remember.
Probably at least 10.
I can't remember the scoring system.
So it's going to be neck and neck, back and forth. It's going to be a grind for 3
It's going to be good watching.
long go rounds right there. And she's got a legitimate chance. You know, it's always better sometimes to come in second because you're planning on winning when you go there anyway. But you don't have all that pressure of staying first.
Right. Right.
So I'm rooting for this team right here, Jimbo. Push hard for that world championship.
I want to talk about number 4 on the team
Okay, let's do it.
because I think very high of her, and we competed against her for years. And Michelle Dyer, she is she won the world once, and she's won the average 3 times on the team that won the average 3 times.
So did you steal her away from another team?
I don't know, just luck, I guess. I wouldn't say there was no stealing.
She was a free agent.
Well, when someone makes a move, they want to make a move to the toughest team where they got the best chance to win, I would assume.
Yep.
So
It's a blessing to have Michelle on the team. She fits really well.
That sounds like the team to beat now, to me.
it's going to be a tough team. They know what they're doing. They've been there, done that. This isn't their first rodeo. That's something to say right there.
Right.
That's something to say right there. That makes them hard to beat too, Jimbo.
Absolutely.
They know what needs to be done
WIN.
to win. They're winners. Team of winners. Who else do we have?
We have Raptor B out of Oklahoma.
Raptor B out of Oklahoma.
They're a new team. They've never been to the finals before. They're kind of ropey. So any one of the 12 could win it.
You know, I'm going to look back at some facts from like the National Final Steer Rope in there, Jimbo. There's a couple of guys. Bryce Davis, his first year in, won the average. Ora Tatum, first year, won the average. Several of those guys. Chet Herron, first year, won the average. Tony Reyna, first year, won the average.
Yep.
I can go on and on. First year guys winning the average and in other events. So those first year people, there's something to really watch out for sometimes.
Right.
So 2 of the 12 teams, if I'm remembering right, 2 of the 12 teams have the same people that they had last year. Everybody else has switched it up this year.
Okay.
Okay, so those 2 teams are Espuela Ranch and High Plains Cowgirls. The 2 teams that won the world and the average last year are back with the same people.
They didn't want to mess up a winning recipe, so they stuck with it for another year, and let's see how it works out for them. It sounds like all the teams are going to be tough, Jimbo.
Oh, yeah, there are no weak ones here, for sure.
Doesn't sound like it. Doesn't sound like there's any that's going to not be very competitive.
They wouldn't be here.
Yep.
And after talking to all the girls, they all think they're going to win it, and that's what I like is, not just showing up just because, okay, we went to a few rodeos and we got lucky enough to qualify. We qualified and we're going to win it. That's good. And it's going to be good watching because I think it's going to be, if one team goes out and it's like a 14-23, the next team is going to go out and be a 13-98. I think that's the way it's going to be. That's my prediction. It's just going to be back and forth. It's not going to be a runaway, I don't think.
They're going to feed off of each other.
Right.
That happens sometimes, Jimbo.
Oh, yeah. It makes them all tougher when somebody sets the bar pretty high on a run or something and somebody else has to do better and pushes a little harder, and it just magnifies,
And then they're voting on the last events. Say, a lot of them get together and they know all the top teams and they know their weak events. Mm-hmm. That's the events I'd vote in. The ones the top teams aren't capable of doing, hoping they get in no time, pump us up in the average or the world. Mm-hmm. Who knows what's going to be going on this voting deal? It's going to change the game. Totally.
We're either going to cuss it or praise it.
Yeah. Well, the winners are going to love it, and the losers are going to hate it, just like every single rodeo or roping I've ever been to in my life. Most of the time, the winners don't have anything bad to say, and the losers, they don't like anything that happened. There's several contributing factors why they didn't win. So
luck of the draw.
Exactly.
If you're having a good roping day or not. I mean, it's what it's going to come down to. I think is your cattle and your draw.
That's what it comes down to.
Normal.
And their horsepower.
Right.
Who's mounted?
I mean, everybody's talented. Everybody's mounted. These girls got some nice horses.
And who handles the pressure, too. It all has to come together.
That's right. I know where I'm going to be. What's the ticket price is going to be to get in?
Cheap. What is it, $10? I know I get in.
About $10.
I know I get in free. Adults, $10 per performance or $25 for all 3 performances. Kids, 10 and under, get in free.
Can't even go to a movie for that, can you, Jimbo?
Can't even buy popcorn at the movie for that.
Can't even buy the soda water to go with the popcorn for that, Jimbo.
Pitiful.
And you're helping out your local Osage cattlewomen and the association.
That's right. So, Billy, you're on the Cowboys of the Osage podcast, but it's pretty delightful for us to have a celebrity of your magnitude on. You have a podcast. Tell everybody about it and what you talk about on that thing.
Well, we talk.
And when it comes out and where to watch it.
Well, you never know when they're going to come out. We're not on a schedule because it's hard to tie these girls down. And we just kind of talk about whatever crosses our minds. And sometimes there's alcohol involved. We could be in the feed truck, could be a horseback, could be cooking supper, just whatever works out. If they say I'll be free about 9 o'clock, then I make sure I'm free 9 o'clock. We talk to rodeo producers, some of our sponsors, sometimes the winning teams. Kelsey Thomas, that's on this Whaler Ranch, she comes on a lot. Joette Schwala out of the High Plains Cowgirls, she comes on a lot. Lori Campbell, our old teammate, she comes on quite a bit to visit. We cover a lot of stuff.
Jimbo catches quite a few of the episodes. He watches
I've
them.
listened to them, several of them.
Yeah. Did you listen to I Want to Be a Cowgirl, but they said I couldn't cuss?
No.
We're gonna have to go back and look at that. So what services does it play on y'all's podcast?
I think you can get on your iTunes or any other.
And the name of it is what again?
Women's Ranch Rodeo.
Oh, Women's Ranch Rodeo. You can catch Billie Franks on there.
Yeah, you can go to our website, the Women's Ranch Rodeo Association website, and there's a link. They'll take you directly to the podcast.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
Just Google it up.
Just use the Google.
It's not, there's not a lot of editing.
Well, I can't wait to catch a couple episodes of it.
Yeah. It's good.
Next drive I take somewhere, Jimbo, I'm going to queue them up and check them out.
Right.
Well, Jimbo, do you got anything else for Billie today?
Well, just thank her for coming over. We enjoyed it, but just encourage everybody to come out on the 15th and 16th and watch this, because it's really going to be good. And come the 14th to the kickoff party and bring your money and buy somebody in a Calcutta.
Yeah, all the proceeds from that go right back to the Women's Ranch Rodeo on the Calcutta end. Yeah. So everything that we're doing on that from the museum end, we're donating straight back to them, Jimbo. So
great.
It's going to be a really, really good time.
Everybody come out.
14th, 15th, 16th of October this year, Women's Ranch Rodeo World Finals right here in Pawhuska, Oklahoma.
There's no place else to be.
There ain't no place else to be.
Be there, be square.
That's right. Well, Billie.
Yes, Cody.
So what do you got any great advice for up and coming cowgirls to shoot towards the ranch rodeo end, or do you think they should focus on this new breakaway roping? What would your be advice for young cowgirls right now, today, wanting to get into the Western way of life?
I think the money's in the breakaway. I really do. If you're a ranch type or like that type of thing where it's not the same thing every time in a different event, I would say enter a Women's Ranch Rodeo.
Go to them both.
Yeah, just enter up.
Enter up. What do you think about the direction that women's rodeo sports is headed in right now?
I think it's great. I think there's a lot of good hands out there, both in the breakaway and I've seen this grow since, 2004, from just being some Kansas teams and that one New Mexico team to grabbing girls. Jenna's originally from Florida. Her and her sister, they both rodeoed. We've had girls, like I say, they're from Louisiana. New Mexico, Wyoming's came in before, North Dakota. It just depends, Nebraska. This year we don't have anybody from Nebraska, but we had some rodeos up there. Colorado. There's some tough girls all over the place, and I can remember telling a girl one time that my vision when we started, there had to be more ranching girls out there in other states that would enjoy this, to come together. And she thought I was crazy. And every once in a while she reminds me that she was wrong and I was right. And it's a good bunch of girls. And if you talk to any of the girls, they will tell you what they enjoy most is getting together with other girls that have the same interest as what they do, that face the same problems day in and day out, horseback with their cattle, trying to be a mom and a cattlewoman, trying to be a mom and a team roper. I mean, young girls coming up that's thinking about marrying a cowboy or something, we can kind of deter them from that. It's a great life, and we're a minority group. Cowboys are a minority anyway. Cowgirls that compete in the arena, whether it's breakaway or ranch rodeo, is even more minority. And the girls really support each other. If you need anything, you can call any one of those girls if you're close, and they will help you out. The bond that we have on the non-competitive side of the fence is one that I've never had with anyone else. But on the competitive side, as soon as that gate shuts and it's your turn to go, you're there to get the best time with the cattle that you drew. It's not there to beat this guy. You're trying to do the best you can with what you have drawn with your teammates. And that's what I enjoy, is working with the other three girls that have the same values that I have, that work the same as I do, that handle cattle the same. I think that's why it works for us.
You know, every world champion we've had on the show, Jimbo, that's what they've told us.
Right.
They do the best they can on that particular run than they can do. They're not going out to beat the rest of everybody. Every single one of them that's been a world champion has told us they just go make the best run they can with what they're working with.
Right.
And let the chips fall where they lay.
Yep, that's right.
And here's another one to add to that list right there, Jimbo.
For sure.
Well, I like the way the women's ranch rodeo and the women's rodeo sports and the Western way of life that's coming along right now is headed, because I'm a father of two young girls, and I like to see the way this deal's headed, for sure. And we're going to support it 110% wholeheartedly, just because it's a great thing. It's a great thing to see. I like the way everything's headed. And Billie, we sure appreciate you coming on today so much.
I love being here.
It's been a great time. We've had a great time today, Jimbo.
Sure have.
And I highly encourage everybody to get over here to Pawhuska, Oklahoma, October 14th, 15th, and 16th. We got the kickoff party 14th. Starts, I think, around 6 o'clock that evening. And then they got two performances on Friday, one earlier in the day, one later in the day. Check it out on their website, Women's Ranch Rodeo. Be sure and check out Billie on Women's Ranch Rodeo podcast. Comes on all the time. It's great, Jimbo says, and I'm going to check it out myself, because it sounds like a big bunch of great characters to listen to and learn some stuff about what's going on in Women's Ranch Rodeo and maybe their hectic lives and hectic ranch lives and some of the wrecks that happen to them on a daily basis. It just sounds...
Some of our philosophy.
Yeah, some of her philosophy. I'd like to hear some of that. We try to keep it fairly family friendly on our deal.
That's the after party.
Okay.
Right.
Well, everybody check all that great stuff out. Get to Pawhuska Women's Ranch Rodeo World Finals, October 14th, 15th, and 16th. And we're just glad to have you guys here, and we're proud to be a part of the Women's Ranch Rodeo Association right here in Pawhuska, Oklahoma. And you got anything else to tell anybody before we sign off, Billie?
Come to the Osage the 14th, 15th, and 16th.
That's all right. That's right. See everybody then. And until then, see you guys next week right here on the Cowboys of the Osage podcast, coming to you from the Ben Johnson Cowboy Museum. See y'all.